On today's Hashi, I'm discussing Nepo home buyers and the rising costs of homeowners insurance. Today is Tuesday, April the 2nd, 2024. I am Byron Lazine, and the hot sheet starts now. Welcome into the hot sheet. Let me know in the live chat which market you are tuning in from today. Nepo home buyers might sound weird. Every time I hear it, it certainly does to me. But I feel like it's a good thing for the market, especially for young buyers who can get this opportunity. And there's a recent Redfin report that shows more than one third, 36% of millennials and Gen Z homebuyers combined plan to use money from family to fund their down payment. This article on Redfin, we have an article from Sarah Lentz on nowbam.com breaking this down. I like her piece a little bit more than the Redfin piece. The Redfin piece is written by Daryl Fairweather. Daryl Fairweather tends to take the angle in her coverage of the real estate industry that everything is unfair, and that's certainly the angle that she takes in her piece. And now bam.com kind of leaves that stuff out, which I think is most relevant. Gen Z and millennial home buyers are getting help from family. 16% say they'll use an inheritance to cover their down payment. 13% say they plan to live with their parents or other family members. Okay, so here's some of the numbers. Here's the chart. You can get the chart downloads inside of BAMX, as well as the show notes inside of BAMX each and every single day. We upload those for you. So the Redfin survey, which of the following actions are you likely to take to help fund your down payment on your next home? 60% are going to save directly from their paychecks. 39% of Gen Z and millennials are working a second job in order to become a homeowner. I applaud both of those groups that are working a second job from Gen Z and millennial. Cash gift from family, 36%. Sell stock, investments, pull money out of retirement, sell another home, all up over 20%. Inheritance is at 16% again. Live with parents to save, 13%. Sell some crypto investments, 13%. There's some crypto investments that are being sold right now. Crypto just went down the last couple of days as we expect more volatility in that market in April. Side nugget. Take equity from another home I still own, 12%. Contribute less to savings, retirement savings. That last one really shows you how important it is for Gen Z and millennials to own a home. They're willing to forego some retirement to get into home ownership earlier. I think they understand that they want to have control of their environment, and they want to put themselves in a position to be 75 times more wealthy. Now, Fairweather, and the quote's in the Now Bam article, she says that Nepo homebuyers, this is the other side, right, of the conversation, have a growing advantage over first-generation homebuyers because housing costs have soared so much. Many young adults with family get help from mom and dad, even when they have jobs, and earn a perfectly respectable income. The bigger problem is that young Americans who don't have family money are often shut out of home ownership. Not true. Okay. There's been plenty of examples of buyers that don't have family money who are able to secure the dream of home ownership. Many of them earn good income too, but they aren't able to afford a home because they're at a generational disadvantage. They don't have a pot of family money to dip in, or they're spending their money on other things. Listen to Dave Ramsey. You can start listening to Dave Ramsey. I don't care. If you make anywhere close to the median income, you're buying a home. You're on a path. You're on a step plan. Now you're not going out to eat. You're not getting $11 salmon sashimi every single night, but you're on a path. This contributes to wealth inequality, often prevents young people from gaining economic ground. Their peers come from more privileged backgrounds. She actually, the American dream is just as much about class mobility as the home is the white picket fence, and housing affordability crisis has made both elements of the dream harder to attain. She actually goes on to call this, put it in the systemic inequality bucket in her piece, which, listen, I love golf. My dad was a mechanic. Okay. The town I grew up in, everybody's dad worked at like one of two places. Okay. There wasn't much opportunity there. Now, I didn't golf I didn't start golf until my mid 20s, but boy, do I love the sport. I mean, if my dad was Tiger Woods, would I be a better golfer today? Is it unfair that Charlie Woods has a dad named Tiger Woods and he's got this ability to tap into his family and what they are offering? It's just the way it goes. That's called life. Of course, my dad's not freaking Tiger Woods. And of course, I'll never be the golfer that Charlie Woods is today or will be in the future. That's just called life. Suck it up, Buttercup. There's plenty of folks that are in Gen Z and millennial that are first generation buyers that are going to achieve this dream. It's going to be the ones that prioritize it. It's going to be those who get help from many of you that are listening. Many of the great buyer agents in these communities that help educate, help these folks put together a plan on how to get into a position to either save for a down payment or tap into. There's a program right now I know of in the state of Connecticut. That's a great program for first-time home buyers to put a big chunk of their down payment. So those exist in most states, by the way, if you do your research. These time-to-own programs. Lack of affordability is a big barrier, obviously, to home ownership. I agree with this for sure. Available homes are too expensive. 43% say ability to save for a down payment. Ability to afford mortgage payments. Mortgage rates are too high. Regular upkeep maintenance would be too expensive. Lack of homes for sale, 18% lack of financial support, family or friends. So these are the reasons when Gen Z and millennial responded were the biggest barriers to buying. They overwhelmingly want to buy and getting on a plan to put themselves into position to do that. The survey, I think, is right on the lack of affordability. And then the opinions that Fairweather puts in of, how how unfair this is don't really bring in as much value. Okay. But some of this data that's in here, I think, can be certainly useful for agents. And the fact that 39% of millennials and Gen Z are willing to work a second job. Again, 39% say they'll work a second job to make this happen. That means for sure the future is bright here in America, and that buyer agents and real estate agents alike should be working their butts off to help these people. If they're willing to work a second job, get in position to get in front of these folks and continue to help them achieve home ownership. Homeowners insurance, though, when they become a homeowner, they'll find is very expensive. Freddie Mac's U.S. Economic Housing and Mortgage Market Outlook report for March 24 highlighted the cost of homeowner insurance from the year 2018, when homeowner insurance was $1,081 on average, to 2023. The increase has been 40.8%, going up to $1,522. Effective insurance rates, homeowner insurance rates calculated by scale and premiums over home values, have remained relatively stable over time, with borrowers paying an average of $4.90 per thousand of home value in 2023 compared to $4.70 in 2018. This might be an interesting nugget for you. Here are the effective insurance rates, the highest ones in the U.S. Central states like Louisiana, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Mississippi pay an average of $8 per thousand in home values, while states like California, Washington, Nevada, Oregon, Utah, and D.C. only pay $2.50 per thousand. Well, what the heck? California certainly has all of the risks that these other areas do, and they're paying less. Well, there's regulations on how much they can pay, which is why a lot of insurance companies have bowed out of insuring California homeowners. And also, you got to factor in the affordability that we're just talking about. Homes in these other areas are much more expensive, so that kind of spreads that cost out as well. Okay, the impact on affordability. While homeowners insurance costs continue to contribute to housing expense burdens, they're overshadowed by the impact of higher mortgage principal and interest payments. There's obviously an implication for people that are buying. These are the financial details that great agents are going to explain in full transparency before the buying process starts. And certainly before the investing process starts. If you're trying to uncover more listings in your marketplace, I would grab these sources, the 5 charts that we have inside of BAMX, and these show notes here, and get that information out to homeowners, where insurance is today, and how high it's gone up in 2018, where it might be going in the future. Certainly people that have a second home might be considering cutting those expenses.
That's great advice, Byron. You do have a hard stop, though.
Thank you. But Bobby is here to make sure I don't miss a flight, but I did not want to miss a hot sheet. And I appreciate all of you guys here tuning in. I know this one was a little bit quicker than we typically do. I would encourage you to go read more about the Nepo-Homebuyers on nowbam.com. The article is, and all the charts and everything's inside of BAMX there, so you can grab that. There's some interesting stats there I think you can use for both your social and your email follow-up. A little bit of downer news. Yesterday, the 10-year really shot up, almost a 4.4. This is above the Logan Motoshami prediction for the year. The 30-year fix shot up yesterday because of that, 7.05. The volatility continues. The bumpy road ahead continues. And it's just not going to go away anytime soon. But if you want to go away, there's one place you should go. That's June 6th, BAM Camp DC. The link is below. Get your tickets, because by the end of the week, the early bird pricing goes away. And now I am going away, jumping on a plane, but I will be with you tomorrow, 9:30 on the East, 6:30 on the West. There'll be a real word up today at 2 o'clock. We recorded that late in the evening yesterday. Hope to see you guys soon. I'll definitely see you back in the comments. Until then, toodaloo.